Hello and welcome to this video, and I'd like to thank you for the Eurovision 2024 season. What a season it has been. We've got our wonderful winner, who seems to be a truly wonderful person off the stage as well as on the stage as an excellent performer. Congratulations to Nemo. Congratulations also to Baby Lasagna for getting Croatia their best ever result. I would have been happy with either winner, to be honest, so I'm truly over the moon with the results this year, which aren't usually something that I care about, and to be honest I'm not particularly fussed this year either, but it's always nice when my own winner does win. This video has taken me a little bit longer to edit than I would have hoped, as did the previous one, the watch party one, so it's a lot later than I would like to have uploaded this video, but I'm still really proud of it and I still want it to be closing off the season. The one surprise that I mentioned during the video still hasn't happened. It's not the Goethe interview, so we'll see if I still manage to get around to it. There have been plenty of concerts announced for Hamburg from Eurovision artists, and I don't think I'll be able to attend all of them because I do not have unlimited money and I do want to be saving for Switzerland 2025. But I'll be going to as many as I can, and I hope you enjoy that content and when it shows up. Oh, the sun's just changed. Anyway, as I say, it's taking me a lot longer than I would have hoped for. It's still okay though, end of June, that's fine. So please enjoy the rest of the video. It's been a very turbulent year, but I'd like to start with the positives. And if you're wondering what even is this video, I did a welcome to the season video back in November for the equinox, and I'd like to do a sort of cutting off point for the Eurovision 2024 season. So I'd like to have this video as a sort of stopping point, and also as a here's what you can expect in the future, but also as a like time capsule of this is everything that happened this season. Yeah, it's been pretty wonderful. This is also the most I've ever moved about my top 37 of any given year. There have been lots of actual changes. I took the staging into account. I had the pre-parties impact my top 37, and it did actually change. I'm not going to do a post-show top 37 because they are way too much effort to edit, and I know I could do a simple one, but I like to do my talking ones, so I'm just not going to do one. Firstly, and most importantly, I'd like to thank everyone who is watching. Genuinely, thank you. I hope you enjoy what I put out, and I hope to see you stick around for the next season. I will be putting my foot in the door of as many opportunities as I can, and we'll see where that takes me. If you want to join me, that'd be lovely. Throughout the year, not just in April, May of 2025. I'll be doing as much as I can throughout. I've got some plans brewing, but none of them are concrete yet, so I'm not going to jinx them. But in order to look back on this past year, I'd like to say truly just thank you, because maybe due to this platform, maybe I would have gone on it otherwise, but I will not know that. I got to work with Eurovision Insider, which is pretty exciting. They're not the biggest fan organisation, but it's still very cool for me. And I got to do interviews because of that. On the 10th of April, I got to do a Zoom interview with Yolanda for Portugal, which is already up. And then on the 1st of May, I did a Zoom interview with Goethe, even though all of us were in Malmö. It was a Zoom interview, so that's what I got. I got actual press accreditation for the Malmö Hagen pre-party, which is the first time that it's ever taken place, apparently. And that was wonderful to see how that works behind the scenes. The other people with press accreditation there weren't as excited about it because the organisation was, in their words, pretty horrendous. But we had fun. There were moments where the theory was thrown about that this is a Big Brother episode, and just what do Eurovision fans get up to when they're waiting for interviews and think they'll get to some, but they actually won't. I don't think that was the case. I just think a lot of things went wrong, and I'm so very thankful to the organisers because I got to do an actual sit-down interview with Dons, and I also got to do some red carpet interviews with Aiko, Luna and Sylvester Bell. Me from closer today, cutting in, I did also get hugged by Bessa from Albania during the red carpet interview stuff from the ESC Plus channel. She got Truth or Dare and did a dare of hugging a Eurovision fan. I don't know why she chose me because I wasn't really the closest Eurovision fan to her, but it was still very, very sweet. I also took some red carpet photos of people, and that was pretty cool. I also met 6 artists out on the street, kind of, on May 1st. Within half an hour of each other in 3 separate locations, I'd met Sylvester Bell. Had a lovely chat with him, honestly. I saw him and I wasn't believing my eyes, to be honest, because I figured all the others would be like sitting in their hotels or something. I knew they theoretically were out on the street, but I was expecting truly high security in Malmö, so I didn't expect to meet anyone. And then I saw Sylvester Bell, had a lovely chat, was wonderful. I told him that he was in my number 4 spot at the time, which he was. I wished him all the best. I told him I hope he comes in the top 10, but like if he wins, I'm absolutely coming to Vilnius. Someone from his delegation took photos for us, and truly wonderful to speak with him. And then like a few days later I spoke with him on the red carpet as well, so that was pretty surreal. He's the only artist that I met twice in Malmö and in Copenhagen. And then I was scooting along on an e-scooter towards the Eurovision street, apparently in Malmö. I didn't see what made it so much of a Eurovision street, but I was scooting there, figured I'd see it as well, because I was at the Turning Town also, where I met Sylvester Bell, just exploring Malmö by myself. And then I was scooting along on an e-scooter near the Central Library, and to my right I saw, is that Oli Alexander? And then I remembered that he had just landed in Malmö that day and also had a dark green t-shirt on, which the person who I thought was Oli Alexander was also wearing, and I was like, oh, it is. So I went up to him and said, hi Oli, and I did scare him. Unfortunately, I'm so sorry Oli again, if you do see this. I did apologise profusely. He apologised for screaming and jumping up in the air. He didn't scream so much, just a little bit. He did get scared, startled. I apologise. It was very British, apologising back and forth, but it was very nice to see him as well. I was kind of trying to get him to tell me a bit about his staging, because it was the day before his first rehearsal, and I was like, oh, I'm very excited to see your staging. I hope it's good, blah, blah, blah. He didn't tell me anything, obviously, but it's still nice to chat with him. He's such a big star just out on the street of Malmö. He was with someone, I don't know who that person was from the delegation, or I don't know, privately, I have no idea. As I scooted up to the Eurovision street, I found Viis Minut and Pulup. One member was missing, but I started talking with them, and I was like, oh, I'm a big fan of Eurovision, it's so cool to see you here, blah, blah, blah. And they did give me a kind of blank stare, and I was like, oh, do they not speak English? Because I was, you know, temporarily just panicked. But they do. And I asked, oh, do you speak English? They said, yeah. I don't know, maybe they just didn't expect to be recognised out on the street in Malmö or something. I have no idea. But we took some photos. It was hard because the sun was in our eyes. And none of the photos are great, but, you know, we got some photos. And then the following day, I was on the central town square in Malmö, which was next to my hotel in Malmö. And I was just sort of there after I did my interview with Gotta, and I saw a grey big bus pull up, and on the front of the bus it said accredited transport with the like Northern Lights logo, and I was like, okay, well, I'm already next to the bus, so I just moved like a few buildings down to where the bus stopped, and people were coming off the bus, and I was like, huh, this sounds a bit like Turkish, it sounds a bit like Italian, what is happening? And then because it was Italian, I did slightly get my hopes up that it could be Angelina Mango. But then I was like, no, this isn't Italian. I know Italian. This isn't Italian. And then I remembered, just before she came off the bus, Maltese sounds like a mix between Turkish and Italian to me. And then Sarah Branici did come off the bus and greet me and another fan. I think maybe a couple others also showed up. I don't know. I left pretty quickly. But I also got filmed for social media by someone. I have not seen that clip anywhere, so if anyone does find it, let me know, but I'm not on TikTok, so maybe that's why I'm missing it. Yeah, that was very nice. I met her in the outfit in which she filmed her postcard. I was like, what is this outfit? I've not seen this in any of the rehearsal photos or whatever. And I told her, oh, I'm so excited to see your rehearsal clip, because I had everyone's timetable in my head, and I know that that sounds stalkerish, but numbers do just get stuck in my head, and especially when it comes to Eurovision. Yeah, I knew that her rehearsal clip was, I genuinely did not know who I'd be meeting. I didn't stalk anyone. I know it maybe sounds like it because I met so many of them, but it was true dumb luck. And she said, oh yeah, no, it's just been posted, and it had just been posted, so I just met her as her rehearsal clip was posted. And then I was walking back down to the square because I was, you know, I like the square. I was thinking, well, maybe I should get some ice cream, maybe I should go to the chocolate shop down the street, which I did also end up doing. But as I was walking back to the town square, I see a group of people approaching in very, very shiny gold and silver outfits, and I was like, Eurovision, no? ABBA. And at the front of the group was the guitarist. I'm so sorry, I don't know people's names, I'm so sorry. But I recognised the guitarist as the guitarist from Megara, and then I looked around and I saw everyone else. Oh, okay, these are the Megara people, and I chatted with them as well, and I was like, oh, this is so cool to see you here as well. Are you going to be filming like an ABBA medley or something? They were like, yeah. They filmed their Dancing Queen music video then, their cover, and they said I'm not allowed to post a picture until they post their video, which I haven't done, so I kept my word, Megara. You can trust me. And that was it for the people I met in Malmö. But then I also obviously did the interviews. Melvin walked past me like 5 times or something during Malmö Hagen in the press centre, but never really sat down for interviews as far as I could see, at least not on the floor that I was on. But yeah, I did all those interviews and everything, and watched the Malmö Hagen pre-party, which was pretty cool. A little bit messily organised, but I still had fun, and I had 2 friends with me who are not as intense Eurovision fans, one of whom is almost not really at all a Eurovision fan, just likes concerts. And the party was dragging on, and to be honest, I would have loved to have participated in the voting and found out who the Malmö Hagen winner is, but I didn't see the results posted of that anywhere, so I don't even know if it happened. I tried messaging them on Instagram, didn't get a response, so I don't even know if Malmö Hagen voting happened. But I was at the back of the hall because I was, you know, ready to be at the back anyway. I was like, the interviews are way more important. The person who likes concerts doesn't really like to be at the front anyway. I'm like, okay, I don't care. I've seen everyone at the front in Amsterdam already, so the only truly new performances were Poland and Australia, and I was like, I'm fine being at the back. I don't need to be at the front. And we sat there through it, and then they started just playing the videos in order to get to the voting, and I understand that. I like the concept, but I could tell both of my friends were already very tired. I was pretty tired, and we had a train to catch the next day back home. So I said, you know what, I'll accept leaving if we want to leave. Unless the next song is Reminisce, and it was, so we stayed for Reminisce, which was a brilliant decision because for some reason that video has so many views. I took like 11,000 or something, and he's not even there. It's just like the silhouettes of people watching the video. I don't know, I don't get it, but I'm glad people enjoyed that content. I didn't even intend to film the whole thing, but then I started filming it and I was like, oh, let's wait for the hand bit, and then everyone did it. I was so excited, so that was good. And then we left Malmö Hagen because I had spent 10 hours at that event in total, between the red carpet interviews, the press accreditation, press centre interviews that almost entirely didn't happen, but I had some nice chats with everyone else there. So, you know, Eurovision fans are always like a home away from home. Yeah, and as I was leaving that event, I spotted Sheldon Riley off to the side, and I was like, you know what? He was in my top 10 in 2022. I want to chat with him. And I did, and he said I have a cool vibe, so big compliments there. And it just got easier to talk to each Eurovision contestant as the week got on, because I tend to be pretty shameless out in public. Like, if I want to do something, it's more important to me that I do that rather than embarrass myself. I don't care about that. But I do feel a certain pressure talking to Eurovision people because, you know, hopefully maybe I'll see them again at future Eurovision events, and they're like the actual contestants. You know, they've got some amount of talent at least to be able to perform on the Eurovision stage that I will never have. And I'm genuinely a fan of most of these songs, of like a large majority of these songs. So it's always a bit more nerve-wracking talking to them than, I don't know, doing Poi out in Hamburg. But chatting to all of them across the weekend in Malmö and Copenhagen definitely humanized them for me, which is always nice. And I think I did get less and less stressed with each interview and with each just out on the street meeting. I've got now a routine down, not really a routine, but like the things that I'd like to tell them. Also, obviously, good luck if it's before their performance at Eurovision, and thank you if it's after. Just genuinely thank you for the song. It's all very nice. It was genuinely so lovely in Malmö and Copenhagen, and I did also have some low moments there. The last time that I thought I was leaving the area of the arena, I did stand and cry on a corner for half an hour because I didn't want to leave. I did want to see what it's like inside the arena, but I also knew I have my watch party to look forward to, which was wonderful, and my security concerns, so it's fine. I did also see on May 1st in the evening the guys from Azerbaijan, I'm pretty sure, walked past me near the town square on the evening of May the 1st, but I was so tired and startled I didn't even react in time anyway. And as I was leaving the Emporia shopping centre and going towards the arena for the last time, I did see Aliona walk past with someone, but she was in a rush. I attended 2 pre-parties this year, which is pretty cool. Eurovision in concert was genuinely so good. I didn't enjoy the city Amsterdam. Controversial opinion. I don't know. Maybe I just wasn't in the right mindset for it. But Eurovision concert was so good that I think I'm going to have to go back. Even considering going to Het Grote Songfestivalfest or whatever on earth it's called, the one in November this year. And Malmö Hagen as well, which is pretty cool because it was way smaller, way more relaxed, and even at the back you could still see everything. I also visited 4 new cities because of this, obviously: Amsterdam, Zaandam, Malmö and Copenhagen. Very, very cool. I filmed my videos in like 10 cities in total, sometimes because I was just like traveling and had a longer train changeover or something, and I think that's so cool that like I have this skill now to whip out a camera anywhere and be able to chat to it about Eurovision and not really care about the other people around me. I think I filmed in 6 countries. Truly very European this year. I don't know if I'll beat it next year, but it was very fun. I got interviewed for Polish TV for the main #1 programme about Eurovision because of Malmö Hagen as well. I was part of the sing-along, as was Robin. I saw that as my potentially only chance to get Robin into Eurovision, so I took it, and you can see us in very few pixels, but we are there. At the start, sort of on the, looking at the screen, the right hand side in the top half, middle-ish, and then near the end in almost completely the top left corner. So technically Robin's in Eurovision. I sang in Musti's song, that's pretty cool. Technically I'm part of the choir. I met some very, very lovely people as well during this whole thing. Mostly, I would say, at the Malmö Hagen thing, but also did a few YouTube collabs. There's still a few coming up. That's all very nice. Like, it's just been really, really lovely. And I met also lovely people in the queue for Eurovision in concert. Had so much fun with them. Like, if I am going next year, I'm going to try and organise actually meeting up with them, because they were great and they were all German anyway. Which was by accident. I didn't mean that, but yeah, absolutely. Lovely, lovely people met along the way. So I love Eurovision for that as well. And I also crocheted some Eurovision things. I had previously only really crocheted this blanket and a similar blanket for my cousin. But the day after Eurovision in concert, I got some wool in a bookshop, and I got a Eurovision board game as well in Zaandam. I don't know how, that's probably not how you pronounce it, I can't speak Dutch. And I made this like Eurovision heart pouch thing. I know it maybe looks a bit stretched out, but that is the Eurovision heart. And then I've got the holes for the buttons there. And it, you know, is a little satchel thing that goes over the shoulder. There's wool in there, which is why it's disshaped, but there's also a pocket exactly the size of a phone here as well, so that the phone can be safe in the bag while I put other stuff in there. And it's a lot stronger than I expected. I didn't follow any patterns, because why would I do that? No, I think it's good to follow crochet patterns, but it's the one hobby that I'm trying to keep absolutely no stakes, and I'm just doing whatever feels right. I had also crocheted a hat in February, also with no pattern, but I'm pretty happy with it. I bought, yeah, the blue and the rainbow stuff in Zaandam, and the black and white stuff I had from earlier, because I was going to crochet a little Robin and then gave up. And I figured there wouldn't be enough wool for the phone pocket, and I was right, because I do have some blue left, but almost no rainbow left. And the tiny little bit of rainbow that I did have left over after Eurovision, I made this with, which is a little tiny holder for my ammonite that I bought on the day of the Eurovision final. Isn't that so cool? It also closes, it's similar to the other one. I made the handle completely differently, and the heart as well. I didn't know that I could make such a tiny heart. That does actually slightly resemble the Eurovision heart. Pretty proud of this. And the ammonite fits in there perfectly. It's also a very good size for Robin. If she wasn't so sleepy right now, I'd put it on her arm, but it's a nice size for her. She's got that one, and I can have this one. And I didn't expect that to come of this Eurovision season either, because I didn't think I'd get into crocheting as much, but I have, and didn't think I'd ever make something like this. So it's been a really, really lovely season for all of those reasons. This video is getting much longer than I expected it to be, but there we are. And to be honest, I'm only taking away lots and lots of tips about how to do interviews in the future. Who knows, maybe I'll be doing more. Hopefully I will be doing more, but I'm just happy to have had this experience and these opportunities already, and here's to hoping that it does happen more often. However, I would be remiss to discuss this Eurovision season without discussing some negative aspects as well, because there have been quite a few. Firstly, Israel not being banned. That was clear as day to me from the start that they should be, because it feels hypocritical to me. I know it's not the same as Russia and Ukraine, but I understand the situation is more complicated, and I will be the first to admit I don't know everything. And I can only know what I hear on the internet. I don't know anything from on the ground. But it feels obvious to me that Israel now has more power to stop the conflict if they wanted to. Maybe I'm wrong there. That's just my understanding of the situation. And the song was still political. Hurricane is definitely still political. They changed a few lines from October Rain, and October Rain was extremely political. So Hurricane was still political to me, especially with how she starts off the staging as well. And how the Israeli delegation behaved was horrendous. All these reports that I've heard from inside the bubble were not good. So I'd hope that there is a ban for next year. I don't know how realistic that is, considering Moroccan Oil, the main sponsor, also apparently an Israeli company. But that's where the issue started really this year for me. A sort of positive negative thing was that there was no true ABBA reunion. Because if it had happened, then people would just gone back to saying that it was rigged last year. But also it not happening is a little bit sad. I did also throughout the season have a bit of lack of sleep, and that is almost entirely my fault. I wanted to get my reaction videos out as quickly as possible, and that did mean that sometimes I went to sleep at 5 a.m. on the Sunday morning after a super Saturday or close to one. I'll see what I do next year about that, whether I become a bit more reasonable, but that's not particularly healthy, and maybe I'll be better about it next year. And then also, obviously, the entire situation on May 10th and 11th was horrendously stressful, with Jost Klein being disqualified. I still don't know whether he maybe did do something wrong. None of us know. Nobody who was there has any true insights out on the internet. The thing that I am calling out as an explicit negative is how the EBU dealt with it in communication. Just abysmal, to be honest. I understand you don't want to put statements out in a rush, but I think there are better ways to deal with this. More transparency, more democracy. I mean, if Jost Klein truly did nothing wrong, that's even worse. But if he did do something, I feel like there could have been more communication about it. So either way, not happy with the situation. I'm very sad for Dutch fans as well, because they seemed actually so excited. And from people telling me firsthand, not just in Amsterdam, that this is the first time that the Dutch fans really felt like they could win. Because they didn't really expect it with Arcade. That's also very sad. I didn't think Europapa could ever win, because I didn't know where the jury points would come from, and judging by the points that we have now, the 58 points probably wouldn't have won, but whether the jury is also influenced by the whole situation, who knows. But I do feel pretty sad for Dutch fans that they didn't get to see Jost perform in the final, after all. But all in all, I'm just very pleased with all the opportunities and experiences that I had this season, all the lovely people I spoke to and met. I'm hoping to keep going and everything, and I'm very happy with the winner. Now, finally, onto what can you expect for the following season / months. First of all, once this video is out, I will be taking a small break. I don't know when I'll have edited this, but if it's before the ESC Hayden videos, they'll be linked in the description. I'll have a small break. I don't know how long, but I'll just, step away from YouTube, live my life a bit outside of Eurovision. I love Eurovision, but I'd like, to take a little step back, because the last few months have been very intense. And then I'll try and do at least monthly videos. Probably just looking back at past editions of Eurovision. Probably starting with 2021 and going backwards chronologically, because that's what I've been doing anyway. 2022 and 2023, you can see at least some of my thoughts on the channel if you sort by oldest. Not so much about 2022 and not loads about 2023 either, but they're there. So I'll start with 2021 probably. That's the Eurovision that actually drew me in, because I saw the picture of Damiano with his leg up and the champagne bottle, and I was like, what is happening there? I need to know. So I'll probably do a look back on that. Not necessarily my top 39 or whatever the number was, but just pointing out some highlights, fun things of the show from the semi-finals as well. Just kind of a very casual chat about each edition, and the winner at least. That's what I imagine I'll do, but we'll see what actually happens. I will not be making any content about Junior Eurovision, but once we get to OGA Second Chance, probably I'll do something about that, and there might be some other Eurovision or Eurovision adjacent events that I'll be attending that I might cover throughout the off-season. But for now, my main and only plan until the equinox / the first song, or some major news before then, is just covering past editions of Eurovision as and when I feel like it, but at least once a month, ideally. I personally do know of Eurovision icons and winners, and some of the songs from countries that I have bonds to anyway, But fully watching the show, I've only gone back to 2017 because I could just watch them in like, you know, one day. But I take a full week where I try and immerse myself, find social media content that is maybe a little bit harder to find nowadays. From the time, maybe watch Eurovision a little bit more, or the equivalents from then, just anything I can find surrounding it. And then I watch the non-qualifiers, and if there are iconic interval acts that I've heard of, those. And then the grand final, and I kind of spend a whole week with that Eurovision edition as if it was kind of happening right now, even though it's not, and even though I know who the winner is, but I also do my ranking. So I do a pretty intense viewing of each past Eurovision edition as on when I come to it, which is why I've only gotten back to 2017. I was hoping to have done 2016 before Malmö as well, to have watched the last Swedish one, but it's whatever. I know love, love, peace, peace, and I think that's the most important bit of content from Eurovision 2016. I know that the YouTube algorithm would be happier if I was posting more often, but I can't care about that right now. I would like to live the rest of my life outside of Eurovision. You know, I'm still working full time and studying, so I'm not going to be able to keep up this rate forever, because I would like to sort of sort out my apartment, maybe get rid of some stuff as well in the off season. I do so hopefully have one more Eurovision 2024 surprise up my sleeve, maybe, if I manage it. You'll have to wait and see if I manage it, but that will be then the actual cutoff point. But this is the last sit down video that I'm doing, and then once the season gets going, I'll pick which pre-parties to go to. Maybe it'll be multiple again. I'll try and get absolute press accreditation for that. Maybe with Eurovision Insider, maybe by myself. We'll have to wait and see what's possible. And I'll try and just do as much as possible next year again. And then obviously, I will try my absolute best to get true press accreditation for Eurovision 2025, because I'm so excited for Switzerland. As I say, I speak all the languages that are spoken in Switzerland conversationally anyway. Yeah, Schweizerdeutsch is quite a bit different to Hochdeutsch, but I still kind of gather what's happening. And my understanding of Schweizerdeutsch isn't significantly worse than my understanding of French, so whichever city does host, I'll be able to get on there, which isn't obviously a requirement for getting press accreditation, but it will be helpful. And I'd love to get press accreditation for actual Eurovision. That is a dream for next year. That is my goal. I'm going to manifest it. Once again, thank you so much for joining me during the Eurovision 2024 season, and Robin. And I hope to see you in the next season, in the off season, whenever we see each other next. I hope you have a pleasant life and keep enjoying Eurovision if you can. I'll try my best to as well. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. I really do hope that you enjoyed it, that got something out of it. I'll see you in the next one when that shows up on your feed. Bye! You're actually sitting down to be in the video. Wow, okay, I didn't expect that. You are a trained cat.